Have you ever asked yourself why Kenyan people plant a lot of maize? Everybody plants maize. Have you ever asked yourself reasons why they plant a lot of maize? Guys, this is the reason. Come with me. So many people ask their questions. Why do people in Kenya, everybody plants maize? The maize crop is all over the farms in Kenya. So today, guys, I'm here to satisfy your curiosity, step by step, to tell you the reasons as to why people plant maize a lot. The economy of Kenya and Africa at large depends on agriculture. And most of the people, or 90% of the people, let me say 90% or 80% of the people depend on agriculture because mostly people don't have jobs. So they depend on farming. And the best crop to farm is maize. And this is why, guys. Maize plant is one of the easiest crop for anyone can be able to plant. Why do I say that? Because the expenses of maize plant is so cheaper compared to many other crops. Because you can weed a maize plant for almost, let me say, twice, and then the maize plant is ready to be harvested. So, which makes it the easiest plant because it doesn't need so many medical and all bedsides. So this one makes it so easy for everybody to be able to plant it. But the most importantly, guys, is maize crop is the staple food of Kenya. Not only in Kenya, in Africa. We eat animals, we eat especially human. We consume ugali because somebody like me, I cannot survive on anything, maybe rice, if not ugali. That's why sometimes I wonder, if I go out of Kenya, will I find ugali? That's the first thing I will ask myself. So guys, that one makes it, because everybody needs food. Everybody needs to have food in the house. You know, especially we Kenyans, we Africans, our families are big. So the first thing you need to do is to have food. So you have to plant your own maize because buying maize, it can be so expensive at other times of the year. So which makes it so important into our economy. The third thing is that maize crop, some people plant it as cash crop. This is because maize has a market. Maize can never miss a market because, guys, from the maize, if you have maize, you will boil the maize, you will roast the maize, you will dry the maize and grind them, make flour and make ugali with the maize. You can make porridge with maize, which makes it so important than any other crop in our Kenya here. The other thing is the soil and climate. the soil of Kenya or the soil of Africa majorly is good in plants like maize and many other crops. So, which makes it so important and so easy to cultivate maize plant because the soil favors and the climate favor it very much compared to many other plants. I talked about the expenses of planting maize. You know guys, maize plant and its expenses is very cheap because the only expenses you have is to add fertilizers and maybe hire somebody, or you yourself, you go to the farm and weed the maize. Because the time of dop dressing and maybe planting and making holes, and then you put fertilizer inside, then when the maize is at least 1 month old, so you will go weed and add another fertilizer. Some people will add even twice before the maize is ready to be harvested. But it is some people will put it at least once. You put fertilizers once. So, which makes it easier. Remember guys, maize does not need any pesticides. You plant it, you weed it, you put fertilizers, and so you just wait for it to get ready to be harvested. But other people also plant many other crops like arrowroots, sweet potatoes, bananas, and all that. Maize has a short season. Like here in Kenya, in this side of Kisii and Kuria, this region, we do farming twice a year. So we harvest twice a year. So which makes it an ideal crop for us to be able to make a living from there as fast as possible compared to any other crops which may be take 1 year to 2 years. So guys, from here, I will be taking you now to the process of now on how you prepare the farm and then you plant the maize. For example, me myself, here in Yapohansi, I don't own a farm. I rent a farm. I can rent for 1 season, which will be much cheaper. And then I will rent the next season. So after renting the farm, I will go and cultivate. Maybe I'll bring the cows to plow, or I will use a tractor, or people will come and help me dig the farm to prepare it for planting maize. After doing that, I will repeat it. The first round I will dig, or I will plow. The second time I will do so to prepare it to be able to start planting. On planting the maize, I will have a few people to support me to plant depending on the size of the farm. Maybe sometimes I can just plant myself, but mostly we bring people, we hire people to help us plant when we want to do it faster, and which is cheaper labor. So the maize plant is planted at least a half a feet apart from one maize crop to another. And some of the people will just put 1 corn per hole. They will put 1 corn per hole, but most of the people will put 2 to 3 corns per hole. And that one is also, you have to put fertilizer first, like 50 grams of fertilizer. You will put maybe 20 grams of fertilizer each hole, and then it will follow with 1, 2 or 3 corns in that hole. The maize is good enough because it can accommodate any other crops like beans. As you can see here, we have maize and beans. Sometimes we also add some groundnuts inside here because the maize does not destroy any other crops that are being grown inside it. I said 1 corn to 3 corns per hole, depending on how you want to plant your own maize or your own crops. And it can be accompanied by several beans. That's the goodness of maize, with several beans. And then the other line in between the maize,
as you can see, guys,
even groundnuts,
like
as I'm going to show
this farm here. I also
then after that, you will give the maize something like 1 week. Then the maize will germinate, and then you come to start now digging or clearing or weeding. You will start weeding the maize. After weeding, then you will top up the fertilizer, and the process goes on. Then you give it for like 5 months. The maize is ready to get harvested. So that's the reason, major reason why people plant maize plants. But the main reason is because we need food. If you need food, you know, guys, in Kenya, there are so many people who so many people don't have big farms to be able to farm, and sometimes it will be very, very difficult for a person to do a big or large scale farming because the land is now reducing because of the population. And also, guys, it will be very, very difficult for some people because you don't have enough capital for you to be able to start large scale farming. So most of the people plant maize because they need food in the house. And guys, this is one of my maize. I told you the other day, these are one of my part of my maize. I put some fertilizer, that's why you see the maize is really growing fast. So let me take you to the other side. I've not put some fertilizers, but I will do so when I get the funds to get the fertilizer. And these are some of the challenges that will cause you not to have your own crops, you see, because it has that. So if I planted, maybe let me say tomatoes, if I have planted a lot of tomatoes, it will cost me for pesticides, a lot of it. So it will need me to have a lot of capital for me to be able to do farming in tomatoes and any other crops that will need a lot of pesticides. So I choose to plant beans and maize because it is cheaper for me to maintain it until harvest. I have maize and groundnuts. Guys, I've not put fertilizers here. I have, this is my farm. This is groundnuts. You can see they are on line. And this is maize. So here, guys, the only thing I need to do is to put fertilizers because you see, like this one, they look so pathetic. So they need a lot of fertilizer here. So I know I will come to put some fertilizers later when I get the funds to be able to, so that these crops will help me in the future. So guys, this is how we do our farming here in Kenya. So this is how, that's why the reason we always plant a lot of maize, because it is easier to maintain until harvest, and it is cheaper. At least it is cheaper. And especially when you rent a farm, then the people will rent you in a cheaper price compared to maybe you want to plant sweet potatoes, because sweet potatoes take a long time on the farm. So it will be very difficult compared to maize. So this is why. So guys, this is my maize. This is my small farm. So this is it. So guys, you can see the greeneries you see, those are maize all over. So guys, today I do not have much to tell you. Just in case you are new here, my name is Makori. My YouTube channel name is Live with Makori. So guys, I want to say thank you so much for coming back to watch my videos, and in case you are new, please subscribe to the channel and let us continue supporting Life with Makori, guys, in every way possible. And guys, I really humbly request you that, remember guys, I do Kenyan series where I interview people who have at least changed their life from somewhere to this. That's a Kenyan series. So I am at series 4. Tomorrow I will be giving you series 5. So stay tuned guys and continue supporting Life with Makori. Take me to 2,000 subscribers guys. Thank you so much. May God bless you. Boom.